Hello, everybody. I need to see if you're there. I can wait. Oh, okay. I see people. All right. So, welcome back, or for the first time. Hi, Kiadora. I'm Jacob's cousin, but don't I look just like him? He just made a video about Twin Peaks, but I'm back now. He's gone. So anyway, as the title states, we're talking fashion because I'm not going to let my fashion people go. Like, because I saw, somebody was like putting thumbs down on the Twin Peaks video. I was like, uh-oh, my fashion people are getting nervous. They want some fashion content. Well, I got some really interesting stuff for you today. Going to be talking about several different topics, including cultural appropriation, which is like, ooh, this scary word we use in fashion, Kiadora says, is that a Vivienne Westwood hat? Wait, very bad connection. Can you guys see me still? Yes, this is a Vivienne Westwood hat. This is a Vivienne Westwood hat, yeah. It's a mountain hat. Il film maniaco. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? This is a mountain hat, not a witch hat, silly. Connection is fine here. Okay, good. But just to have a little bit of reference to Twin Peaks, I have all of these mountains here. Look at all these beautiful mountains. Lucrezia. Yes, I can see. Good. Okay, guys. So listen, cultural appropriation, it's like, you can't do anything fashion-wise nowadays because people are going to yell at you. Not just fashion-wise, if you're going to shoot a movie, if you're going to create any sort of object, you risk of falling within the moral of today of cultural appropriation. Anite says, cool outfit again. What do you mean again? This is for the first time. The other person was my cousin. We're twins. So in the past, did I ever post? I think I posted maybe on Twitter or Instagram like a photo of kind of like an Indian outfit and a lot of silk. Native American by Jean-Paul Gaultier from the early 2000s. And it's just so beautiful. But of course, Jean-Paul Gaultier is a guy from France creating this attire inspired by American Indians and of course Native Americans. And of course, that's going to be something that nowadays, today, might be considered as a negative, as cultural appropriation. But there were times when this was considered a celebration of life, a celebration of anything that inspires you. In fact, one of the additions I want to show you today to the fashion bunker that I got from a dead stock second-hand salesperson. So it is indeed not new, but it's not second-hand either because it hasn't been worn, but it has been stocked. It's a bit difficult to explain, but it isn't purchased new, so I'm still not buying new. Is this a Gianni Versace piece? Look how beautiful it is. It's a silk scarf or a silk carré. And you see why I mentioned this cultural appropriation. This is something Gianni did a lot in the 90s. A lot of these themes of horses and Native Americans mixed with the Greca motif as well. So it's and then you have feathers all over the place. And it's something you could consider ugly or beautiful. I personally find it super amazing. What do you think? Anite says, the new Tom Ford fragrance, fabulous, would fit you perfectly now. Thanks. So this is one of those pieces added to the bunker. Moroshka sends us a kiss. Moroshka 51. Hi, how you doing, sweetie? So yeah, so that's one of the pieces. Then we could go more into detail about cultural appropriation. For example, one of the sunglasses that's, oh my God, this is like a history lesson in fashion. If I'm boring you guys, just let me know. These sunglasses that basically initiated the trend of sunglasses as a fashion accessory and not just as means of protecting yourself from the sun was back in the early 60s, Courrèges. So Courrèges made these beautiful sunglasses, also cultural appropriation, you might say, because they're inspired by the Inuits, the Eskimo glasses. Because the Eskimos would take bones and would literally cut them like animal bones and would make little slits. And that would be their sunglasses, their shades, because they would protect them from the sun. Because they had no lenses, no glass, obviously. So they would do this to protect from the sun, because if you're exposed to Arctic, Nordic, Arctic, whatever, Antarctica or the North Pole, in both, if you're on both of those regions, in either one of the two, and if you're there for months and months and months, you can get this, I don't know how you call it, it's like a particular type of blindness when you only see white. And sun contributes to that as well. So these slits protect from reflections and rays of light, so that actually, I mean, the Inuits didn't have this form. They would literally have like rounded bones. Inuit, yes. Landvermesser 77 says, Inuit, yes, they're inspired. I just mentioned about cultural appropriation. They're inspired by Inuit or Eskimo eyewear. But the first fashion pair of sunglasses made as fashion pieces, but inspired also by something so important like, you know, in Inuit culture, was Courrèges, André Courrèges. Yes, snow blindness, Sharon means, exactly. So André Courrèges created this fashion statement already back in the 60s. And from that moment on, fashion discovered sunglasses as being something that they could profit from on a way higher level than just selling off the rights to the royalties. So basically, you know, most of the first ever produced Yves Saint Laurent sunglasses weren't designed in-house by Yves Saint Laurent, but just the name Yves Saint Laurent was given to a certain company that was allowed to produce sunglasses under that name. But then as sunglasses became more and more famous for the fashion, most of the fashion houses took back the rights to make their own sunglasses and would actually do that. But you could say this is a sort of a cultural appropriation as well as the Native American scarf here. An interesting example I have of how European, or no, not even European, let's just call it Western civilization or society kind of just like does fashion and, you know, goes in the direction of sunglasses. You've seen this, you've seen me post this on my Instagram profile many a times. Our notion of, what you might call it, what represents our culture, like rock and roll. It's something that belongs to the Western culture, whether you want to accept that or not. So Karl Lagerfeld's team back in 2009 had this brilliant idea of creating these shades here. And this, you can't call it cultural appropriation since it belongs to kind of this consumer-oriented rock and roll-based culture. These are sunglasses that have sideburns. So when you wear them, you literally have sideburns. You're literally like a rock and roll person. So these were on the runway back in 2009, spring summer 2009, and are a very, very special example. These are my holy grails from the Chanel sunglass archives in general. Not just the 90s sunglasses, the chain Chanel sunglasses, who a lot of fashion people know about. But these here are incredible to me because they tell a story about our culture. You know, DXXA, hey D, how you doing? Hey Super D, finally made it to a live airing. Elvis sunglasses, wow, yes. So these, oh D, now you totally like kicked me out of it. I'm out of the loop now. What was I saying? I was saying, so every culture has its own myths or tribal masks. Let's just call them tribal masks. And I mention tribal masks a lot, like especially when I'm talking about, D says sorry, don't be sorry, it's all good. Tribal masks when I talk about, like for example, Africa, you know, the British or European colonial kind of attitude is just to go to another country, another culture and plunder all they find that they consider beautiful and just take it back to their own first world countries and use them as ornaments, when indeed a lot of these artifacts have a very symbolic meaning, either religious, ritualistic, cultural meaning. But indeed, if you go to many homes, you're going to see people just hanging African masks or replicas of African masks on their walls in their living rooms just because they look good. But they have been totally made naked of all, they've been stripped away of their true meaning. So to me, this is very symbolic, this particular pair of shades, because sunglasses in our consumer society, first world countries, sunglasses are considered our status symbol. We wear sunglasses not just to protect ourselves from the sun, but we wear them also to show off that we have a brand, to show off that we can afford something, or to show off a certain coolness and detachment, unapproachability, which also belongs to making yourself look more important within our culture and society. So our tribal masks of our consumer society are sunglasses. And that's why these in particular are so wonderful to me. I am sure the design team who created these did not at all think about the repercussions and the symbology behind what they were doing, but that don't matter, Chanel. That's why you got me. This represents to me our tribal masks because it's something that only we can understand. If you were to send these off to a country that never heard of rock and roll, that never had rock and roll or Elvis Presley within their own culture, they wouldn't understand what this means and what it pertains to, what it represents. This is a mask. You see what I mean? These are not just sunglasses. This is a mask. And it's a mask that we understand the code to. We can decipher what it means and what it represents and the decadence that's behind it. And the word decadence also is something that pertains very much to our consumer society. We can move on to something else. I have here Moschino by Jeremy Scott. Also very, very, very typical for rock and roll, or actually very typical for the 50s era. Here we have these Cadillac car-inspired sunglasses, very rockabilly, if you may. Made in several different colors. I got this gorgeous kind of eggshell yellow, a bit more yellow than eggshell. I mean, they're super small. I have a huge head, but you know what I mean? Crazy. Oh, well. Doesn't really, they don't even fit me, but they're in the archive. They're in the Fashion Bunker archive. But this is something, you got to know what a 50s Cadillac looks like in order to understand what this is, what this means. Where does this come from? Where this design comes from? Anyway, I digress. So this was like a couple of details I wanted to show you. It's getting hot in here. I'm taking this off too. Now you tell me something. Let's read some comments. This was like a surprise video because I was planning on doing the other one and I was like, let's do something else as well. Let's see. So Thomas Polese says, love the Courage sunglasses. I've got them last year. Now I've got Linda Farrow collab with Jeremy Scott Mickey Mouse glasses. I love them. Oh yes, I have the Mickey ones as well. They're so cool. So Kiadora, now you can ask me the Karl Lagerfeld question. In the other video, I don't remember anymore what was the question. Oh, hey Fred, how you doing? So Landvermesser 77 said, maybe just like those small round sunglasses from the hippie culture. Well, the small round sunglasses weren't that small when they originally became famous. They became famous thanks to John Lennon wearing them. And the John Lennon model round sunglasses, which yes, can pertain to the hippie culture, they're a bit bigger. We have had an evolution of the round sunglasses. You have even like really small versions as well. Anite says, what fragrance are you wearing? Today, this one. So let's spray some more. Opium, Eau de Parfum, that's my perfume today. Okay, so Kiadora says, what do you think about the Karl Lagerfeld Vans collaboration? I haven't even seen it. That's like how I don't care about it, but I can check it out. Cool Josh T, I just found your videos today and I've watched like 12 of them. You're fun to watch. I have to ask, who makes these oversized hats you're wearing? Well, thank you so much for the compliment and for watching my videos. This is Vivienne Westwood. World's End. It's in wool felt and the inside bandana is always attached to the hat and it's always made with recycled shirts or scarves or materials or products that she didn't sell in the past collections. So trying to, reduce garbage and, try to reuse, reutilize, and recycle everything. These exist in different colors and materials. They also exist in straw for the summer, really beautiful. But this is like a really hard felt wool, and it's in the shape of a mountain. It's called a mountain hat. Cool Josh T says, I love what you do with the rolled up colorful scarves underneath them. And do you live in New York City? I live in the Fashion Bunker, but that's a mystery where that is. Kiadora says, well, I don't know. You're going to stream again. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. But, I can't. You have to keep topics together because you have to understand 10 steps ahead. If somebody wants to watch a Twin Peaks related video, they're not going to want to hear about Karl Lagerfeld. So I'm not going to talk about him in that video, obviously. D says, love this theme. Why does wearing sunglasses make us look automatically more glam? Hiding our eyes, hiding our feelings, staying aloof. Love sunglasses though, so many choices. I love sunglasses too. I also got this pair, secondhand. More simple Moschino, but they have like kind of, they're like golden, they have like a golden thing to them, but they're a bit big. What do you think? I don't know. I like them, but at the same time, they're very heavy. Yeah, they're okay, I guess. They're fine. Could be a bit like, maybe this should have been a bit, like the bridge should have been a bit more straight there. D loves those. Oh, okay, thanks, D. Let me take them off. Alex W says, just joined in after my lesson about post-war buildings related a bit to what you're telling. Oh, okay, great. Marianne says, have you smelled Black Opium Nuit Blanche? I've smelled Black Opium Nuit Blanche. I smelled both. They're very kind of sweet chouly-ish. And like Poison Girl is a little bit like them from Christian Dior, but I prefer Poison Girl because it's more intense. But I'm not a big fan of Black Opium, I have to say. So Cool Josh T says, oh, that's very interesting about the mountain hat. Had no idea. You're definitely making me want one. They're amazing. They're so beautiful. I mean, they're a piece of history because Vivienne designed them in 1982 for the first time, and they're still in production. She still keeps producing them, and they are like one of the most iconic archive hats ever produced. Did you guys also know that Vivienne Westwood, coincidentally, is the designer that invented the anarchy logo, the A in the circle? That was Vivienne Westwood. She invented that. Mind-blowing. Lanfem77 says, one spoil about Twin Peaks and I'm out. Want to binge watch it next week. No, don't worry. No spoilers here. This is not a Twin Peaks video. Cool Josh says, legend, icon. Oh, yes. Dame Vivienne Westwood, legend. Fred says, yes, I knew it. What? Oh, you knew that Vivienne made the anarchy symbol. Yeah, she did. I mean, that woman is incredible. To think, mind-blowing. I mean, the whole world knows about the anarchy logo, and nobody really knows that it's her. I mean, it's not like she's like jumping off the rooftops, screaming to the world, taking credit for it. She doesn't care. She's cool, She's just like, moving on. Got to design something else. Joe says, hi, Jacob. Do you only wear high-end brand name clothing? Hi, Joe. No, I don't. I don't. In fact, just the video before, I don't know what is high-end clothing to you, but I mean, Adidas for me is not high-end. I had an Adidas Twin Peaks jacket on. That's, so no, I don't only wear high-end clothing. Anite says, would you work with or for Chanel or Vivienne Westwood? Yes, of course I would. I even made a video. I made like an online presentation or CV presentation or an online kind of, what should I call it? Oh my God, like an online video YouTube application for Chanel where I tell them like, take me, I would be great for you. But they didn't. They don't care. I think they're like a little bit too snobby for that, to even like go in that direction. That's not how things work on that high-end fashion level. You gotta have a lot of connections. Thomas Polese says, hi Jacob. Hi Thomas. I have a weird question for you. I'm dying to get a pair of Y3 shoes. Honestly, I'm not crazy about the male ones, but I love the female ones. Do you know how they fit compared to other brands? I know that Y3 goes all the way up to 43 or a UK 9 for women. So if you pre-order them, like they're available also in male sizes. So it's unisex, you know. And they fit quite true to size, I would say. But you know that Y3 and Adidas goes in weird sizings. Like they do 2/3, 1/3. So it's going to be 42 and 2/3, 43 and 1/3, 44, 44 2/3, 45 1/3, 46. And it goes up like that. But they fit relatively true to size. And Y3 is quite unisex in general, except if you really have like the high heels, which they don't make since many seasons now anymore. But yeah. Alex W, do you know her reasoning after it? After what? Guys, when you write the question, like make a full concept within the question, because otherwise I don't know, because I touch base on so many different topics that I don't know anymore what the question relates to. You know what I mean? You got to help me out here. Catherine C. never heard that Vivienne made the Anarchy logo. Yeah. Kiadora says, what do you think about Guess? To me, it's so tacky, but that's just my personal opinion. But I love Vivienne and Chanel so much. I mean, listen, to each their own. I guess it's just not for me. What can I say? Although I have to say, I do like some of their store displays. And if there's anything from Guess I would ever consider purchasing for the Fashion Bunker, it would be like their displays, but they don't sell those. Like just the other day I was passing by a Guess store. No, wait. Oh, no, sorry. No. Forget it. Guess does not have good store displays. Totally wrong. I was thinking about another jeans brand. I think G-Star. Yeah, G-Star. I love their displays. They had like these like weird out of jeans, like they had these like, the window is like basically dead dogs. Oh my God, this sounds so gross, but they're like just bones, but they're fake. They're not real bones, obviously. And they have these like made out of jeans, like these little jackets for the dogs to cover their back to keep them warm. But these are like skeletons of dogs. It looked so creepy, but I love this jeans concept for a dog, but they're not for sale. They were just made as an art installation. I'm like, well, that's what I want. So why don't you sell that instead of, you know, boring cut jeans? Anite says, no, but if you would have to choose between them, would you have the honor to have, if I would have the honor to have you in the between, if you would have to choose between Chanel and Vivienne, who would have the honor to have you in the team? Oh dear. Well, I think it would be Vivienne because she's still alive. Coco is dead. So I wanna definitely have more contact and connection to the living as much as I can, and then, you know, if you know, heaven forbid she were not with us any longer, I would maybe go for Chanel, depending on, you know, in which direction the brand evolves. I personally believe that Chanel needs a change in direction, because as of late, what they've been doing, sorry, Carl, sorry, it's not my thing. Melinda's back. She's like, oh my God, another one. No, it's not another one. I'm Jacob's cousin, but don't I look just like him? Sometimes my hat bends backwards. Fred says, can you make a short biography of some brands, like an introduction for us, so we can learn something more and new? Oof, Fred, I mean, I could, but that's like, it could be interesting for a couple of people, but boring for a lot of other people. And I think also it's too educational in a way. It could be entertaining, but also like, that's something that we could do if I were to give a lecture. If I were to come to a city near you, to, I don't know, some design academy to give a lecture, then I think that's the right space to do it. And then film that lecture and then post that on YouTube. That's something I would do. Sharon says, when Guess first came to Asia 20 plus years ago, it wasn't tacky at all. I don't know what happened. I know what you mean, Sharon, but that's in general with a lot of brands nowadays. A lot of them have changed, have become very consumer-oriented, mass-produced, and just the aesthetic of it just doesn't work anymore. And I have the feeling it's like, in both, I think because of the amount of objects and products that have to be produced every season, and the lack of quality raw goods that the world actually has. This hair is so annoying me. We're having difficulties. You know, it's very hard to produce good quality stuff, and it gets worse and worse because the more you produce from year to year, the companies want to produce more and more and more, and yet the quality goes lower and lower and lower, and you have less and less time to invent something, to design something properly. So of course everything becomes tackier and crappier and shittier the more time goes. We're spiraling downwards, and it's the precipice is so deep, and we're like falling faster and faster and faster. The fashion world is going to implode one day. Thomas says, have you visited Coco's grave in Switzerland? It's really beautiful. In my dreams, in pictures, in visions, in books, in photos, yes. But I still have to actually go there and put a big white camellia on her grave. Kiedora says, at Sharon, well, I wasn't born at that time. I'm talking about what I see nowadays. Yeah, guess today. Guess what? Fred says, I would love this fashion lecture, but yes, you're right. It would be a lot of work for a biography. Yeah, I mean, especially for a YouTube video that's usually limited in time. I mean, I know my videos go a little bit longer, but you know, yeah. I mean, I don't make 2-minute videos like a lot of people do, because kind of people get scared when they see a video that's a bit longer. Now we're 27 minutes. And usually people are going to be like, oh, 27 minutes. Do I have to like listen to him talk for that long? You know, so people might not want to click. So YouTube is something that has become also very consumer oriented, very much about dedication of time. People don't want to dedicate all the time anymore. You know, they're just like really quick, consume, 2 minutes and off I go to something else. Alex W. says, I went to Paris this weekend and saw the famous Coco stairs at Rue Cambon 31. I had no money to buy anything there, but being on her stairs was magical. Yes, it's a special place to be. If you love anything related to Chanel, if you know anything about her history, if you know anything about her life, if you know anything about the story of the brand, that staircase in Rue Cambon 31 is a magical place to be, because it's that staircase that we've seen in so many books and so many photos that we've heard talk about so many times, about Coco sitting at the top of the stairs, hiding at every fashion show, because her fashion shows used to be at Rue Cambon 31. So she would be at the top of the staircase, checking through the mirror reflection, the reaction of the people downstairs. They couldn't see her, but she could see them. So knowing all of that, like when I was at the staircase, I felt really spiritually her presence, you know. It was like Coco's ghost was there, you know. Melinda is laughing. Why are you laughing, Melinda? Because of Coco on the staircase? The ghost of Coco? If they let you, you know, if one of the, and if you don't need to buy anything, if you just encounter some good, you know, person working there that's not running after a commission and a sale, and you tell them how much you would love to take a picture on the staircase, and you would love to see it, but you don't have the money to buy something, they're usually very, if you're honest to them in your attitude, they're usually honest back, and they would be very happy to lead you to the staircase and let you take a picture. And like they don't let you go up, obviously, but you know, first, second, or third step, you could go and take a picture if they have the time. And if you meet a nice person, because not everybody has the nerves, You know, some people just like get asked that question probably 50 times a day. Can I take a picture on the staircase? Can I take a picture on the staircase? At a certain point, I guess a lot of people just say, no, sorry, no time for that, or I can't, I don't have permission to, or blah, blah, blah. You know how these things are. Alex says, me too. I was so nervous on the staircase. You really feel her presence. It's like you're in that historical place, and even though you're just there for a second, and even though Coco's life has passed and it's over, you still feel like you're a part of it. You're part of that history, the moment that you're there. And it moves you in special ways, you know. So yeah, it's a beautiful like energy to be there, despite all the this shirt is too tight. That's gonna pop open. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, if you have any other questions, let me know now. Otherwise, let's just like close it here as well. It was just beautiful to do 2 videos because I wanted to do one yesterday and one today. But yesterday, internet was down all day. I couldn't do anything. I literally could not do anything. When internet is down, my existence stops existing. Actually, because internet was down, I mean, I had other stuff I had to do, paperwork, stuff. I love to write a lot. And I'm a lefty, so you see, by writing, since I was a kid, I write a lot, so I have this, my finger here is like stronger, because I always have my pen there. Would I have a pen here somewhere? No, to show you how it looks when I hold, oh, here. So I would write like this, so I always put pressure there when I'm writing, and I write a lot, so I get this little bump here that, you know, it protects my finger from pain. So what was I saying? So, but yes, so basically what happens was, well, I did what I had to do. I wrote what I had to write. I drew what I had to draw for the other video. And basically, I rediscovered got it many years ago, Nintendo 3DS, the first version. So with the tiny screen, and I left the game many years ago, Luigi's Mansion. So I went back to Luigi's Mansion, and now I'm stuck at the 3 female ghosts at the cemetery, and they keep like showing their mirrors to me, and they're so nasty. They keep hitting me with their mirrors, and I don't know how to defeat them. But anyway, back on track with the topic. Landfim SS77, what you're writing? I stopped working on my screenplay for your broadcast. Well, I'm not writing right now, but yeah, I love to write. I write a lot. Look, I mean, just like, this is just one of my notebooks, but look, all of this, it's all written pages. And, oh, guys, yeah, so another quick news. I just started, some of you know that already, some of you don't. I started a course. I'm back to school, by the way. This is so weird. Jacob is back to school. For a couple of months, I will be going to video editor and editing video, kind of an advanced editing course. So today was the first day, by the way, so it was super exciting. But it takes up a lot of time. It's like a full-time thing, and I'm learning a lot. Well, I'm planning on learning a lot. I've received my schedule for the entire duration, which is a lot. It's long. It's going to be a couple of months. And I will learn to use a lot of different editing systems, from Avid to Adobe Premiere to Final Cut Pro to After Effects, color grading. Today was like analysis of movies and how the editing works in those movies, and how story-wise and kind of like the drama, the storytelling through editing, how it works. So we analyzed Psycho. We analyzed North by Northwest. We analyzed Alien, the 1979, the first Alien. We analyzed Traffic with Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. We analyzed The Godfather, Part 1. We analyzed Francois Truffaut movies. Oh my God, we watched so many. I'm amazed that I can remember, like snippets, and we were, you know, analyzing the cuts. It was super fascinating. Can't wait for tomorrow. But, you know, I'm in this weird school class structure now, so it's so weird to feel like, you know, I'm like being on a campus all over again and getting to know other course mates, and it's just all those dynamics I thought were long gone. Little did I know, little did Jacob's cousin know that all of those things were to return back into my life. D says, glad you're studying something you love. Yes, I really do love it. Cool Josh T says, by the way, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say we love seeing your wonderful outfits. Oh, thank you so much. And combinations in every video. So keep doing it, please. No black hoodies. You have such fun pieces. Well, listen, you know, I'm very incognito at the end of the day when I go out. I mean, you're probably going to catch me in a black hoodie out and about. Because I like to feel comfortable, sometimes in a way invisible, when I'm out and about. I'm quite shy, believe it or not. I love talking to you like this, and you know, when I meet people that have my interests that I can open up to, then I'm not shy. But if I'm just like out and about in the world and I don't know who I'm encountering, I don't like to be really in your face. That usually, except with the perfumes, because I love to wear perfumes, so that they kind of smack you before you even see me, because you smell me arriving. But yeah, but yeah. So if I have like the time and the energy, and also if you know, if I'm in the right mood, in the right zone, then I love to dress up. And dressing up to me is, it's the wrong word, actually. I don't like to dress up or dress down. I like to express my emotions through clothes. So I feel this way right now. You know what I mean? And if you're going to see me wearing a black hoodie, it's because I'm going to feel that way. And I'm going to be very honest with myself about what I feel and how I feel. So I wear what kind of suits my mood in that moment, as the same with fragrance. I can only kind of spray the perfume I'm feeling in that moment. In fact, today, where is it? I told you I'm wearing opium. And I sprayed it, and it's so good. As I'm talking to you, it's kind of like coming up from the heat of the body. It's evaporating. It's so beautiful. LXW says, congratulations, Jacob. Today was my first day at university too. Very happy for you. Ah, yay! We're both back to school. Oh, hat flying off. D says, cool class. Melinda says, I was laughing about cousin Jacob. Sorry, lol. Ah, yeah, right. Oh, Melinda, you're leaving us? Bye, Melinda. Yeah, cousin Jacob. Landfemessa77. So you're like a introverted eccentric? I would consider myself that way. I don't know if I'm eccentric. Like, to be honest with you, like, this to me is normal as well. I mean, I'm aware that this makes you more visible when you're on the street. I'm not... I don't have these illusions that this makes you invisible. But there are moments when I do wish to just go about with my day and not have much interaction, because my outer shell attracts. You know, sometimes I just like to be quick about my day and stuff, you know, and I don't always have the energy to interact with attraction because of the outer shell. You know what I mean? So it all has to be, the inner vibe and mood and energy has to match the outer shell. That's how it is for me, at least. Melinda says, I'm a lefty too. By the way, guys, if you like this video, thumb it up. I'm not seeing many thumbs up. Are you not enjoying it? What's going down? Cool Josh T says, what you said is very true. We dress how we feel, or at least we should, or we should dress how we want to feel. Two different approaches we sometimes use, right? Totally correct. Melinda's a lefty too. Yeah, we're lefties. Cool Josh also says, P.S. You're wearing my mom's scent, Opium. Oh, Opium is amazing. I happen to wear Tom Ford Santal Blush. Do you like that one too? I've never worn it. And but I should try it out. People always keep mentioning Tom Ford, and I keep saying I'm not buying new this year. I want to contribute to stopping production of new products and overconsumption and overproduction, so I only purchase secondhand or dead stock. But Tom Ford, so from next year I could technically, but I still think Tom Ford is overpriced. So I can try his fragrances. A lot of you are loving Tom Ford. A lot of my subscribers adore his fragrances and always tell me to try them out. But they are expensive. A lot of money. And I don't want to give that money to him. Landfemmesser77 says, a German designer once said about mood, fashion is the skin of the soul. Oh, that sounds nice. Kidora says, maybe this is going to sound silly. I consider going into Chanel boutique and buying just some little goodies. Is it suitable to wear just a white t-shirt and black jeans when going into this place? You should wear whatever makes you feel comfortable. Don't dress for that place. Dress like you want to dress. And, you know, that's who you are. And if it's not good enough for them, then they could kiss your behind. Honestly. You know, you live and dress for yourself. You're polite, you're an educated human being, you're bringing elegance and politeness with you wherever you go, and that comes from within, and that's what you deliver to the table. If they're so superficial to just judge you from the outer shell, that's their problem. You should feel sorry for them, not the other way around. Anite says, would you be able to live in a nudist camp, considering your love and passion for fashion? Well, listen, skin is beautiful, very, very beautiful. I love skin. I love to touch skin. I love to smell skin. I love to feel skin. And our moral and our society deems it very ungracious, to say the least, to walk naked throughout the streets. And people are very quick to judge what perfection is to them, and they don't want to see skin saggy here, there, this color, there. By color, I don't mean... I don't believe in races, so I'm not even going to say that word, race. But by color, I mean, like, you know, if you're in the sun too long and like this, on this side of the face, you turn all red, or that there's, you know, or you're peeling for some reason because you hurt yourself or you have a scar. That's what I mean by color changes. People judge everything, you know, and naked, we're not used to seeing, we're not used to seeing the body, really. But the body is beautiful. And so, yeah. So to me, would I go to a nudist camp? I'm very shy, and I'm very self-conscious of the fact that the world is judgmental. So, of course, it's easier said than done. I have this preconceived notion of, okay, I love skin, and I love to touch it. And you know, I don't judge who's next to me or my partner, you know, when you're in bed with someone or stuff like that. That's not how I tick. But I become very self-aware from the moment when I have to make that choice actively and just jump out into the world without clothes on, you know. I get scared. And, but that's society that inflicts that on me, you know. I shouldn't be scared because it's the most natural thing. We all have a body. Each and every human being has a body and has skin. And skin is the biggest, most important organ of our body. Well, most important, I don't know. It's a very important organ. It's the biggest organ. And yes, skin is an organ. And Anite knows because Anite is in the medical field. But Anite, would you be able to? I'm sure you would. So yeah, fashion is my passion. Oh my God, hi Jacob, it's me, Jess. I was wondering, hi Jess. If you had any tips for anxiety, because I have a voice in my head that says, stop talking and things. Thanks. I hate, please help. What do you mean, thanks, I hate, please help? Anxiety depends if it comes from an internal, you know, disease, mentally, if there's a problem, if there's something that has to be dealt with on a medical level, or if there's a, you know, I'm not a professional, so I cannot give tips in that regard. I'm not from the medical field. But insecurity in general, if we're just talking about a light form of insecurity, it's like a part of our life, you know? We're all insecure to a certain extent. And I think I can only speak for myself. I'm personally afraid of people who are so self-secure. People who have that illusion of knowing all, of being the best in everything they do, of always saying the right thing. A person that really believes that they cannot make mistakes, that they always make the right choices, that type of person scares me, because that type of person is delusional, in my opinion, and very, very dangerous, because I think they're capable of doing anything to, you know, obtain their goal, to reach their goal, and that type of person scares me. Kiadora says, yeah, you're right, but people judge me just by my appearance since I was a kid, and people were laughing since forever. I'm trying to let go and don't let it stick to me, but easier said than done. It's always easier said than done, and it hurts. It always hurts. You know, sometimes you're more psychologically prepared for it, and there are days when you're just not, where you're way more vulnerable. Some days any word can hurt you, and then other days a mountain can fall on you and it doesn't hurt you. We're just human. It's just the way it is. And I do also believe in like cosmic forces and energies, and I think the stars do align and certain energies work in our favor and also against our favor. There are days where I notice people on the street much more aggressive or much more loving. And I feel that there's a tendency in the air, you know, usually it's like a group dynamic. What triggers it, who triggers it, how it gets triggered, we could debate upon that, but fact is, it's, you know, there are days when you just don't want to go out of the house. And then there are days where you're just eager to meet other fellow human beings. At least that's how it is for me. But yeah, guys, let's end it here. Oh my God, it's so long, 46 minutes. I've been talking, and I need to eat something, because when I talk so much, I burn up so much sugars. So my brain like goes into like meltdown. Because it's a lot of concentration and focus to deliver these videos, because you gotta stay focused, you know? I don't know how it appears to you guys. Does it look like easy or flowy or entertaining? But I love doing it. It gives me life, but it's a commitment, and I take it very seriously. So even if I'm lighthearted and I make jokes and I love to laugh and I love to see you guys happy, I still take it seriously. You know, I don't want to disappoint you. So yeah. So Alex says, you do great, Jacob. Thanks for this video. Thank you so much. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in, OD. Take care, Super D, and everyone. Make the rest of your day be filled with good feelings. Oh, that's so beautiful, D. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anite says, go grab some food, Jacob. Take some dextrose before the videos. It will give you an instant boost. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Anite. Land Femesa says, take care. Take care, you too. See you next time, says Fred. Kidora says, I love this. So, guys, I hope to chat really soon. Thumb up this video. It's like no, nobody's watching. What's going on here? Because I've been talking too much. You see, attention span. We're gone. So, fashion is my passion. Love your hat, by the way. Where did you get it? Vivienne Westwood. Take care, take care. Okay. So, thank you guys so much. Love you all, and see you soon. Very soon. Bye. Love ya.